New week, same Dylan Corbett's YouTube channel, Corbett's Corner, as we dive into the latest week of NFL action. Jesus Christ, Nick Chubb, you guys see that video? Maybe you turned away from it. Scary stuff. That's the sport we know and love, and we divulge in, and there's always the high case of injury. It's not head related this time, but it's his knee. Like, is he coming back from that? I think I saw career ending as part of the rhetoric being tossed around here as we look to. Sorry, just getting things set up here. There we go. Let's get that chat popping, because I'm sure a lot of you checking in are probably disagreeing with my statement that Dan Campbell, I've been saying this since he got hired, is greatly overrated. Let's tell you about the top 5 teams in the NFL, and, it's yucky. No one likes it. We like chaos. We like thinking that our team is ready to go. You like this? Little Ravens. I can't even get my directions right. Little Ravens action, 2-0. How about that? Zay Flowers looks great. But it's hard not to like the favorites in the NFL right now. The Chiefs were still they were the favorites coming in, repeating as Super Bowl champs. They were still the favorites after losing in Week 1 to Detroit. And then it was ugly. It wasn't pretty, but it was a win, and it was a conference win over a team that was a playoff contender last year, a team they beat last year in the playoffs, in the Jaguars. So they're 1-1. 49ers 2-0. They look completely dominant. Eagles 2-0, defending NFC champs. They're looking pretty solid. But again, it's the Vikings and it's the Patriots, both 2-0-2 teams. 49ers beat the Rams. I think the score was a little less indicative of just how easy that game was for the 49ers against their division opponents. You had the controversy with the Rams kicking the field goal to push, to cover if you grab the hook. And, everyone knows what the NFL is the most bet sport in the nation, and it's only getting more and more popular. It's the most popular sport in the nation. It's not the world, right? Soccer still, football controls the globe, but the NFL's trying. A couple of Germany games, a couple of London games, a couple of Mexico City games, and now more and more people will get to see Nick Chubb's legs snap back and forth on a Monday night. But where was I? Chiefs, 49ers, Eagles, Cowboys, Dolphins are my top 5 in order right now. Number 6, you're going to go with the Bills, and then I'm checking in with the Ravens here at number 7. The Cowboys have the best defense in the NFL, even though you're facing back-to-back New York football opponents who do not look great. Giants nearly lost to the Cardinals. Crazy comeback. But obviously Micah Parsons is a going-away favorite for Defensive Player of the Year, and that defense looks just as strong as ever. Dak hasn't turned the ball over yet. He hasn't needed to, right? They haven't really been tested whatsoever in either game. But do you trust Mike McCarthy? Last few years I haven't, and it's paid off in terms of playoffs, right? They can get that first win, but the second win is always tough for the Cowboys. And look at the NFC East. It's kind of a tough division, no? Commanders a surprise 2-0, even though they've had kind of a waltz and walk through the woods schedule-wise. You got the Eagles, obviously, the Giants. Where are we at with them? They made the playoffs last year. They've got a very lackluster 1-1 record so far. I think that's going to be a tough division. Chiefs are always going to have a top offense no matter what with Patrick Mahomes. It's like Aaron Rodgers, but better, where you could just throw Tom, Dick, and Harry out there at X, Y, and Z in the receiving core, and as long as you have Travis Kelce, I guess, there solidifying everything, things are going to be A-okay. You're going to win the AFC West, which is, again, a joke every offseason. Here come the Chargers. Watch out for Jimmy G. Sean Payton's here, and he's not messing around. He's here to resurrect the career of Russell Wilson. Wilson looks all right, I guess, except when it matters. How do you lose going up 21-3 on your home field? Sean Payton is such an unlikable guy to me. It's so easy to root against him. So the Chiefs have a top offense. They're top 3 right now, I believe. And again, it's with, Sky Moore. It's with Kadarius Toney not exactly looking great. It's with a bunch of, nobody. Since Tyreek Hill leaves, they trade him, rebuild that defense with a bunch of rookies, and go on and win the Super Bowl. And I'm telling you, they're going back to the Super Bowl again this year because who's stopping them? The Dolphins? I mean, Mike McDaniel's got to win a playoff game first. Tua's got to stay healthy. They do have the number one offense in the league right now. Right now, obviously. I mean, Tyreek Hill's a big part of that. Jalen Waddle's a big part of that. Tua looks great. Tua's actually the NFL MVP frontrunner right now, according to Vegas. That might be a little bit premature in my eyes, but hey, it's pretty open here through 2 weeks, and I think them being 2-0 with him being successful has a lot to do with it. The Ravens have arguably the best complementary offense and defense, right? The offense is there. Zay Flowers, great addition. Unfortunately, you lose Dobbins, but next man up is Gus Edwards. Lamar's got to stay healthy. And then the defense with Roquan Smith and company. They're a very even-keeled bunch, and 2-0 is 2-0. And that division's starting to look a hell of a lot weaker with no Chubb. Bengals in complete and utter disarray. And you've got the Steelers who get a win against the Browns and look pretty mediocre. So those are my top 7. And again, it's a matter of, do you trust Lamar to win multiple playoff games? We haven't quite been there yet. He's won an MVP, but we've seen this with Josh Allen. If you take away and force turnovers, take away certain elements of the passing game, you can game plan around a guy like Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Will the Bills finally break through? Chiefs should be 3-1 through 4 weeks. They've got a couple of layups coming up. We are going to learn a ton about Miami when they go to Buffalo in week 4. Some of the lines, actually all the lines are already out for week 4, and Miami, I think, is a 3.5-point dog. Eagles, are they going to get by Tampa this week? How about Tampa surprise 2-0? This might be too many points. I was on Tampa in Minnesota, stayed away from this game against the Bears. The Bears look terrible. They've been the talk of the town. I'll spare Bears fans from going in on them here because you've seen it all over Twitter. Fields' statistics through his first games as a professional versus Trubisky. Matt Eberflus, this dude's a clown. I mean, where are we at with this guy? The head coaching record is going to speak for itself there. So the Bears fans are in complete disarray. They don't know who to trust. They're already thinking about Caleb Williams. But then is he going to be the guy? You got to keep these guys upright. Bryce Young doesn't look great, but again, it's always a matter of you got to keep these rookie quarterbacks. You got to temper expectations. They're not coming into Alabama where you've got the best position, the best players at every position. You're coming into the NFL where everyone's got a guy at these positions on other teams, and you're coming into arguably the worst team in the NFL, especially if you're the number 1 pick like Bryce Young. They lose last night. Tampa's interesting. Could they be a surprise 4-0 by week 4? They get the Eagles. That line is moving towards Tampa. Started at 7, now it's 5.5. And then you've got, obviously, I think the Saints coming up after that division battle. Saints don't look too great to me. The defense looks fine. Derek Carr looks like Derek Carr. I guess Kamara is coming back eventually. Niners and Cowboys should be undefeated. I mean, that's those guys look great, and they're facing pretty mediocre competition. Ravens in Cleveland, week 4 without Chubb. I'm seeing Cleveland as like a 1-point favorite, basically a pick 'em. Can you get that done? Could the Ravens be undefeated 4-0? I think they have the Colts this week. Let's see what Anthony Richardson's status is. Colts a surprise 2-0. Tua leads the NFL in passing yards. I told you he's the MVP favorite right now, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's premature, but probably accurate for now. Right? So much can change. Maybe Christian McCaffrey a close second. Look what he did this past week. His team's 2-0. We know it's a quarterback award, however. Yeah, the AFC West is a joke. I took the Chiefs, laid the juice going into the season as, hey, this is going to be their division. I also put like an absolute hog on them to win the AFC. Injury's always a huge part, but, it's like 250 to win 800 or something. I was pretty confident in the Chiefs. I still am through 2 weeks. Sean Payton finds a way to lose at home after being up 21-3, lost to Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio. What has this guy done outside of having Drew Brees is my question. And maybe that's a little bit more of my 12 years as a Falcon fan bias, but I am not a Sean Payton guy. And he's not a Hall of Famer in my book. How about that? Maybe the Hall of Fame is too much of a boys' club. That he's obviously a lock. People want to put Dan Campbell in the Hall of Fame already. I mean, this is people can't stand my take on this. I think Dan Campbell's just all right. Great, he's cool. All right, he's a man's man. All right, he's a football player. Oh, he's building something special. What is exactly special about 18-29-1 as a head coach? He's 13-22-1 as the Lions head coach. How about that home opener? You just got destroyed by the Seahawks, who previously got destroyed by the Rams, who just looked not great against the 49ers. The only reason they got lucky in Arrowhead is no Travis Kelce and the classic Super Bowl hangover week 1. I think the Lions are losing. They're not going to get over 9 wins this year. I'm sorry. And that's a joke. They were favored coming into this season in the division, like out of nowhere. I think it was the first time in 50, 70 years that's been the case. Historically bad franchise. I think you're losing, or you're not going to win 9 games this year. Maybe you get 9. Are you going to get it done in that crap division? If you don't, I don't know what else to say except your boy was right all along. Are you going to get by, who's there? Lions -3 this week. They host Atlanta. Also a surprise 2-0. Lions moving towards Atlanta. I think everyone and their mother is on Atlanta, the public. The Lions got to get this done. Otherwise, your boy is going to be looking more and more right by the week. I don't know who is stopping the Chiefs from making the Super Bowl. Ravens, I'd love to see it, but no. Lamar, I got to see him healthy and do it in the playoffs. And then it's okay, so Vegas is telling you it's the Chiefs and the 49ers. I'm here to tell you that's probably where I'm at right now. Kyle Shanahan in the Super Bowl, you guys know where I stand on that. Pulling a Sean Payton. He's a choke artist. He's not going to do it there. I love Brock Purdy. He looks great. What a draft pick. But then also, consequently, what a terrible draft pick on the other end of the draft, Trey Lance, in the first round. And then, okay, you lucked out getting Mr. Irrelevant. Niners look great. The defense obviously plays. Deebo Samuel looks great. C-Mac looks great. Shanahan's a great coach during the regular season, except when he has the lead in the Super Bowl. Andy Reid or Kyle Shanahan? It's Andy Reid all day for me. Nick Sirianni, Andy Reid. Sirianni's going to cry during the national anthem again in the Super Bowl if he gets there, and then do Nick Sirianni things again. Andy Reid all day for me. Andy Reid or Mike McCarthy? One guy has Super Bowl wins. I guess Mike McCarthy does as well, too, but Mike McCarthy lately has had a lot of playoff losers over the last decade plus, and a lot more massages up in the coach's office while his team is downstairs practicing. Andy Reid all day for me. Could Buffalo finally break through? Josh Allen's got to learn to not turn the ball over in these big games. Great. All right, bounce back against the Raiders. Easiest dub of the weekend in the NFL against Jimmy G, making the West to East Coast trip. Primetime games. Playoff games. We have not seen it from Josh Allen, even though he puts up MVP caliber, seasons year in, year out. Niners a -10 versus the Giants on Thursday Night Football. That should be a disgusting game. You would think that the Niners are going to take care of business. I told you, I think they're going to be 4-0 going away through Week 4. Lions, are they going to embarrass themselves again in front of the home fans? And then you guys got some, Dan Campbell disciples have some talking to do if they can't get it done against the Falcons at home this weekend. And don't give me the Falcons will be 3-0. Watch the Falcons and tell me that's a good team. If he can't get that done, what are we doing? What are we doing is all I have to say. And then watch out for the Buccaneers at home against the Eagles. That might be too many points. So a good 15-minute NFL kind of running through 2 weeks. Sad to see more injuries happening. People are scrambling for fantasy football, replacing Nick Chubb, other running backs. We already had Austin Eckler and Aaron Jones missing this week. Are they going to be back? It's the toughest sport to do fantasy because there's just so much you can't control, especially in the injuries. And then it's like, Josh Kelly, Najee Harris. Sorry, Josh Kelly. Everyone thought Josh Kelly was going to be great in Austin Eckler's absence. No, he was a stinker. Who am I? Jalen Warren for the for the Pirates, for the Steelers. He looks like the better running back, even though Najee Harris was a first-round guy. It's, you can't predict these things in fantasy. That's why it's one of the greatest games and most popular games that everyone loves, even the casual fan. We'll talk college football tomorrow. We had kind of a lame week. Boston College, you'll get my full rant there, as it's the same old shit. Same old shit. Hey, at least we were in the game. We should have won that game. But Jeff Hafley's just not, he's not that guy, pal. He's not that guy. A loaded college football weekend, I should say. How about Colorado? They get to go and make Vegas and sportsbooks really leak money if they could pull off this upset in the Autzen Zoo in Eugene, Oregon against the Oregon Ducks. That would cash their win total for the season in just the minuscule 4 weeks, the minimum 4 weeks, but they are 20-point dogs, and it looks like Travis Hunter's probably not going to play. But there's a loaded top 25 slate this weekend, so I'm excited. Alabama looks the worst I've seen since Nick Saban took over, maybe outside of his first year, right, with John David Booty. But he gets a chance to shut up Ole Miss this weekend and his old buddy Lane Kiffin. So we'll do a deep dive on college football on the slate tomorrow, and of course the MLB playoffs heating up. People are starting to pop champagne, clinching division, clinching postseason berths, and we'll talk about that on Thursday. So keep it locked here. It's Tuesdays through Thursdays at 2 p.m. Central live if you want to enjoy kind of bantering back and forth with me here live, but then also I know a lot of you working, of course, as well. I head out to work on evenings, so I like to get it done for those on-demand listens, views for when you get off the old 9 to 5 and get in your car and relax at home. So if you want to get up to date on who the top 5 teams in the NFL are, hope this has been a little bit informative for you. Man Campbell, not him. Sean Payton, not him. Jeff Hafley, not him. We'll talk to you tomorrow.